Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about lurkers and small things I think they could do or small things they could change about what they do to help support their streamers make greater streams, because that's really the end goal, right? You want to keep improving your stream so you can have a bigger audience and that you can reap the rewards from it. That's most people's goal, not everyone, but most. So we're going to use the same two examples that we talked about in the introductory video. The first one applying to smaller streamers, and the second one applying to streamers with a readable chat. One that's not like, spam heavy, and there's a chance that they could at least see your comment in there. But my hope for this video is that not that you'll just, understand how to respond in these two scenarios, but that if you're ever in a circumstance where you feel like, hey, I want to do more or something, you can, you know the foundation, you know the basics of it, and you know how to react to these, scenarios basically when you're put into it. So I understand that most people will probably be here, if anybody is, for the second example because it probably is more applicable to them. A lot of people don't watch small streamers, and that's fine. And if you want to just look at the second example, click here, and it'll put you over there. So for this first example, it pertains more to smaller streamers, and when the person knows that somebody's lying about lurking. So you might say, how does somebody know that they're lying, or why does it matter that they're lying at all? Well, I'll talk about both of those. So how do you know? Well, remember, we're talking about smaller streamers. These people care very much about, their viewer size and their, who's watching. So maybe they'll check the viewer list all the time. They'll press that button in the bottom left. They'll put up the screen. And maybe, 5 minutes after you say hi every time, you're just not there. Well, obviously, then you're not actually lurking. You're just not in the stream. Also, sometimes you can just tell, you have an intuition that someone is just really never in the stream. So now, why would somebody do this? Well, some people do it for good reasons, and some people do it for bad reasons. The good reason is to say, hey, I've returned. It's an amazing feeling for a streamer to learn that someone, especially as a small streamer, to learn that someone has come back to the channel. This doesn't just mean that the channel is good, so they're going to watch it, but it means it's better than maybe, another streamer, or it's better than the opportunity of finding a different streamer that is better. They're going to stay here because they had a lot of fun with it. So now let's talk about why would they do this, right? For the bad reason. So a bad reason could be they see something that they can abuse in the future. And we'll talk about this for a little bit. I'll try not to go too long on it. But basically, if someone can expect a stream to boom and go from nothing to somewhere, then they might want to hop on the train early and, be able to get mod or something later on so that they can abuse power. So one example, I guess you could say, is if somebody notices a pro started to stream and they have no viewers, or they expect a stream to boom just because it's so much fun and they expect other people to come in. An example of that could be when gambling started becoming huge, a lot of people went from nobody to somebody. So basically, there's a big thing about loyalty, right? And if you were there first, you're first to get mod or something, or a lot of people like you because you were in the stream first before anybody else was. And let's say, this person goes from, 5 viewers to 300 viewers. And, he's like, hey, this person is cool. They're in the stream all the time. I'll give them mod. And then you start self-advertising. Because, a thing about being a mod in channels is everybody seems to like you. Unless you actually mod, then everyone hates you. And that's why everyone hates me. Funny enough, if you didn't know. But um, but basically, a lot of people like you, and you're somewhat untouchable. In a lot of circumstances, you can't ban certain mods, or else either the chat riots or they stop watching the stream. You might say, "Oh, that's weird as fuck," but it happens sometimes. People are telling me that TM, he went from not very famous to pretty famous playing with Tim for a good amount of time. He didn't stream for the longest time. When he started, his stream actually dipped in viewer count at one point because he banned a bunch of top donators, and everyone was very unhappy, so they stopped watching. So things like this do happen. So you somewhat feel, a little bit untouchable. So maybe you type in the chat, I just made this new video. You guys should check it out. Now, already right there, that's self-advertising. That's bad. You shouldn't do that. But a streamer isn't gonna kill you for saying that. And then people ask, hey, what was the video? And then you start linking it to multiple people in the chat. So then maybe still that's too far, because now you're literally, linking your video in chat. All these bad things. Self-advertising is not something you should do on someone's channel, right? You should all be about their channel, everything. Um, but basically, now you're getting a ton of people looking at the videos. Now a ton of people know who you are. Yeah, you know, it's like the Kim Kardashian thing where maybe you hate her, maybe you like her, but you know who she is. It's like it's you know the brand, you know the name of the person, and they feel popular and they like it. So this is obviously very bad, and people shouldn't be doing that. But a lot of people feel like that they can abuse this, and they do all the time. So that's one reason why people would lie about lurking. So now let's say, how does this affect the streamer, right? I talked about, how do they know and why would people do it? Now, why is it bad for the streamer? Because if it wasn't bad, then I wouldn't really care too much. I would still hate the fact, but I wouldn't really care too much. But when the streamer knows that someone's lying, remember we're talking about a small streamer, would they know that someone's lying? It can ruin their mentality as they stream. Because now whenever you come in and you say hi in the chat, it's not, yo, dude, welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. It's, yo, dude, welcome back. Hoping you're having a great day. But I know you're lying, son of a sack, right? Son of a bitch. I know you're lying to me. And it just can ruin their mentality because now maybe they're not so happy, but they're a little bit sad because there's nothing they can really do. You can't call someone out on lying for lurking or something like that. You just look like an idiot, kind of. I don't know. But it can ruin a person's mentality as they stream, and it's really good for small streamers to have great mentalities and strong mindsets because you really need confidence as you start streaming. Because maybe at some point you peak, maybe like at 15 viewers, you peak for a bit. You need to be very confident to know that you can get above the 15, that it is possible. And if they have these doubts in their minds, and now it's not just they're doubting you, but they're doubting everybody because you put that in their mind. So, please try not to lie, especially the smaller streamers. Larger streamers, obviously you can't tell because you're not tracking people daily. But when you're, streaming maybe 4 times a week, you're looking for certain names to come back in and certain viewers to stay in the viewer list because you want to have, people that stay forever as well as you want to have new people. And it's hard for them to maybe, diagnose what the problem is with their stream. Maybe they're not getting new viewers. Maybe they're losing, old viewers. They need to know what's really happening. And the lying just, kind of hurts them a little bit. So try not to do that. If you have to, just, go in and say, just stopping by to say hi. Because number one, that's still great. That means, hey, you took time out of your day to say hello to this person. Imagine you're working at like a Subway or something, and a girl you like is walking by, and she comes in and just says, hey, I was just stopping by to say hi as I walk by. Something like that. Obviously, think about it. You're gonna feel amazing, right? You're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this person cares about me enough to say hi. Something like that. And that can still mean a lot. Even though you're not in the stream, you stop by to say hi. That's something. So keep that in mind. You don't just have to, say hi, I'm going to lurk to give them, something positive to be like happy about. Say, just stopping by to say hi, got to get some groceries. Something like that. Because it can still be really meaningful message. This example pertains to channels where there's at least, a semi-readable chat. It's not just filled with spam. He has a high chance of actually looking and reading your comment and maybe responding to it. But as a lurker, you don't like to comment, so you never do. And you sit there for 3 or 4 hours or 9 hours and you're watching a stream, but you never make a single comment. I understand that a lot of people on Twitch are like this, but I think, if they want to take the next step and help support the person, I think they should at least try to make a comment, once every stream, whether they're just coming in some way, in the middle or at the end, say something, give the guy a little bit of a boost because it definitely helps. It shows that you've come back, maybe day after day or week after week and you're still there. So it gives them some nice confidence as well as it gives them something to talk about. Maybe something in your comment sparks something out of them. And I'll tell 2 stories and I'll give an explanation on why the stories are so different. And I hope by, after that, maybe you'll comment at least once when you join a stream because it really can help them out a lot. So we're going to have 2 stories and they're almost exactly the same. There's only one difference. Let's say, your name is Jim. You go to church every Sunday and then you go to a Subway after and you get a nice sub, right? Because that's a very popular thing. I used to work at a Subway. The 1 p.m. Sunday church crowd is very, popular thing. So let's say, you go get your Subway and then you walk home, you turn on your laptop, you turn on someone's stream and you sit there for 3 hours, you eat, you digest, you relax, but you never say a single word. Never say a single word in it. So now let's take the other story. This same gym guy goes to church, goes to Subway, comes home, turns on the stream, but right before he's about to eat, he types in a comment. Hey, Mr. Streamer, got my Subway and I'm ready for my Sunday stream. So you may think, oh, okay, it's just a comment. What's the big deal about this, right? Well, I think it can be really good. Maybe the person's not having the nicest day, and this is just a pick me up comment. I'm here. I'm a big fan. Ha ha. Woohoo. You're not just a viewer count. You're someone now. You're actually someone who can have some pull in the stream. Also, you're giving him something to talk about. Maybe he used to work at Subway, or maybe he knows someone that worked at Subway, or he just went there last week and he's telling a story all about how, he got a BMT and it was the most disgusting thing he's ever seen. It came out and the pepperonis were green and the sausage, or, I mean, yeah, whatever it is, I don't even remember what was on it. But it was just disgusting, and a lot of people find the story funny for some reason, right? We've actually helped him create content right there, because a lot of people enjoyed what he did, and maybe because of it, they'll come back, and they'll want to know more about the stream, and they'll come back day after day, week after week. We've helped him create content, and right there, a lot of people would say, oh, that's nothing, but I would say that's definitely supporting a streamer, because you're helping him do something. Let's say you're in the channel with, 5 viewers, and you're just talking to the other people. Well, I think you're supporting that streamer by keeping the other people engaged in the stream, right? You could be typing nothing, and they could be really bored and leave, but you're keeping them in, because, you're helping the streamer talk to them as well as you're talking to them, so it's a nice positive experience for them. So, I hope that maybe once a stream, whether it's in the beginning, the middle, or the end, you type a comment. Let's say, it's near the end, you say, hey, Mr. Streamer, funny stream, good job today. Something like that, right? That's something amazing that you can say to them. And then they'll say, hey, yo, dude, thanks, dude, thanks for the follow, and thanks for watching for all these days, man. He's saying like these random things with these accents that are terrible. I don't know, or maybe in the middle, you're watching like some troll stream, right? Where a lot of the entertainment comes from them making fun of people in the chat, and it's a back and forth thing. So you type in, your head looks like a watermelon, you idiot, and then he just goes off on you or something. It can really be helpful. Let's take a pro, for example. You don't see pros just playing and not doing anything else, right? Those streams are, pretty boring. They're not going to hit the high viewer count that they probably could be. You're going to want a stream where, maybe someone asks the person an opinion on a change in the game, right? Maybe a mechanic is different now because it got patched out, or it's something totally out of the blue, and you ask them about their opinion. Well, now they can start talking about it. Maybe they talk about it for 20 minutes about how it's extremely game changing, right? Well, people are going to stay in the stream now, and they're going to come to the stream because they want to know, or maybe they'll watch the VOD later when someone posts it somewhere, because they want to know, what did this person have to say? Because you help them create content, right? Maybe they wouldn't have had done the speech on their own. Maybe they would have just kept the thoughts to themselves. But now everyone can be glad that you said this comment, and a lot of people can help support the streamer by now watching them and staying in the channel. So I definitely think making a single comment each stream could definitely help out a lot of people. There's just one thing that I wanted to add, is that I don't think people understand that creating content is so hard when you're trying to make new stuff week in and week out. So making new streams over months and years is very hard. So even typing in a comment where they can talk about anything on is very helpful, because of how challenging it is to make up stuff on your own. I mean, making this video on its own was very hard for me. It took 4.5 hours probably, and I hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have any suggestions, stuff that you really want, just put it in the comments down below, and I'll try to make videos on that if I, know a lot about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a nice day.